He's smiling because it's the start of his junior season. Ashton, Jell getting ready for tomorrow's home and season opener. Ashton, just among the team, what are the vibes like right now, and just what's the mood and energy as you guys prepare for another season?
I'd say this year's definitely been one of the better years since I've been here in terms of like off-field relations. I feel that the team's gelling together really well, no pun intended. But I'm having a great time with the boys, and the chemistry's there, so excited to see what it looks like tomorrow.
What's it been like building that chemistry? Obviously, you had a head start, of course, being a returner and playing in the spring, but seeing all of these new guys, even the new guys from the spring, just get integrated into this family.
I feel like the off-field activities that we've had have definitely helped, but even new guys in terms of freshmen and transfers, it's been a seamless transition. Everybody's getting along really well, and there's no real like cliques or anything like that. I feel like everybody's really close, and that's something that's really nice to have.
Everything, even during these 3 exhibitions, is just a build. Obviously, a lot of guys had the opportunity to play the first game, and as the games went, it seemed like more of a rotation settled in. Just what's it like understanding that obviously you guys are close and want the best for each other, but there's also a competition within yourselves to get what you guys want?
Right, healthy competition is always good. You want to have that competition in practice and in games, and you got to know that when you come to a program like this that there's going to be competition, and you just got to keep it friendly. In practice, work as hard as you can, but don't cross the line, as Chase always says. I think the competition is good.
For you personally, what's it been like just building on every single season? Chase really has given you props for standing out and stepping up this offseason coming in.
For sure. I mean, I'm really happy with how my career's gone so far. Obviously, freshman year would have wanted more, but I'm happy with the experience I got with the players that I got to play under. I learned a lot, and in this past year, it went about as good as I could have wanted it to go personally. Obviously, we didn't do as well as we wanted in the tournament, but hopefully we can get there this year and bring home a 10 championship.
What's it been like just figuring things out, especially from a communication standpoint? It seemed like that was one of the shortcomings from the spring, just figuring things out together and figuring out as whoever the 11 are on the field.
For sure. I mean, I feel like that starts with the tactics at first and in practice. And going through the spring, working through all of that stuff with that initial group has definitely helped. And with the new guys coming in, they've done a great job learning it, as well as with the guys that are returning as well, because there's been some tweaks. But we've worked through it really well in preseason, and throughout all 3 games that we had, it's gotten better every single game, which has been great, and really impressed with how we've been able to work through that.
As a returner, what do you feel drives this returning group, just that ability to play together for another season and just have an opportunity to just do something special?
I feel like the end goal, as we always talked about, is that A-10 championship, so I feel like the drive and the motivation's always been there, and with how close the program's been over the last 3 years, I feel like this could be the year, and that's where the motivation comes from.
Obviously, there's principles within that you play within. There's an identity that you establish. Just how within those do you look to stay within yourselves, but also find those wrinkles within yourselves to make yourselves stand out on the pitch?
For sure. I mean, as I always like to say, there's freedom within the framework. As long as we're playing together as a team defensively, as a unit, and also on attack, everybody fills in certain roles. But there's also room for creativity, especially in the final third. And we want to have players do that, but of course, you got to get the little things right first, set that base, and make sure that we have a structure first.
The man pacing far behind us, Maxie, has obviously had a heck of a journey at Duquesne. Well, that was an interesting noise, but regardless, we'll pursue. Just what's it been like seeing his journey, having so much success in what was your freshman season, and just obviously went down, but it's back in health and just really leading in another way?
I mean, when we're talking about Maxie, I was so looking forward to playing with him when I came to Duquesne, but unfortunately, I didn't get to play with him my freshman year, and after my freshman year, that's when he got hurt. So I'm super excited to finally get to share the field with him, and obviously the talent's there. You see it every time he's on the field, and he just has that aura that just raises the level of everybody on the field, and I'm super excited to play with him.
I joked with you about this at Media Day, but it wasn't really a joke. Just the condition that you guys are in seems like it's taken that next step up. How much does that show a commitment to your goals and just the work that you put in the off season, especially in the summer?
For sure. I mean, all the guys came in ready. About like a huge amount of players passed the fitness test at the beginning of the year, and I feel like that's what allowed us to kickstart right into tactics, and it allowed us to focus on things that were more specific and less about conditioning and fitness. We got to go straight into the technical work, the tactical work, and that's how we've been so successful in this preseason, and I definitely think that it's going to show in our first game tomorrow.
Chase has talked a lot in the last couple of years about you guys being visual learners now with the game being younger. Just what's it like obviously you're being coached in a way through word of mouth, but seeing tactics and seeing how you guys can be better, just how is it having that instant feedback and that opportunity to see what they're talking about and improve on that?
Yeah, I feel like the visual stuff is definitely helping with everybody, especially in this day and age, as you said. And the coaches are doing really great getting the film out to us as soon as they possibly can, and they look through it, they work through it, and we as the players also look through it so we can give our feedback. And we get together as a team and watch film all the time, so we're constantly getting better and nitpicking on these little technical things.
There's so many newcomers that are freshmen, but also transfers. Having that clear culture and that expectation, how have they challenged and embraced that to make you all a better unit?
Yeah, as I've said before, we have a great structure, and I feel like having that structure has allowed these transfers and these freshmen to seamlessly come into the tactics, come into the culture, and I feel like everybody's been really open, like in terms of like returners that have been here. Everybody's been open and helpful to these guys, and I feel like that's what helped us become so close within this short preseason.
In a way, you can control if the ball goes in the back of the net, both offensively and defensively, but sometimes the ball has a mind of its own. How do you control yourselves, especially from a body language perspective, to make sure you don't get too high, but you don't get too low either?
Just always got to focus on the next action. We'll take it day by day, play by play, practice by practice, whatever it is. Just got to focus on the moment and do the best you can.
How successful do you think this team can be, and what gives you the confidence in that?
The sky is really the limit with this team. We've shown it in preseason. The defensive block is solid. It's going to be super hard to score against us this season if teams do it all. We have high aims in terms of clean sheets for the season, and also we have a lot of goal scorers on this team. I feel like we have firepower up front, we have a good defensive unit, and that's the combination that's going to get us to the championship.